Nigeria's political ground is shifting, and not subtly. The two biggest political tents in the country, the APC and the PDP, are showing visible cracks. On one hand, the APC is battling internal tensions, especially from the remnants of the Buhari CPC's bloc, who are now feeling alienated and reportedly plotting an exit. On the other hand, the PDP has just been hit by a political bombshell. Atiku Abubakar, its most recognizable figure, has walked out again. But this is no ordinary political season. The defections, coalitions, and backroom deals are all pointing to one thing: 2027 will not be business as usual. From the corridors of Abuja to the grassroots in Lagos, one question echoes: what is really changing, and who is this change for? Is this a genuine reset of Nigeria's political direction, or just a recycling of ambitions in new colors? Can any party still claim ideological clarity? And most importantly, where do people fit in all of this power play? This is where I welcome you to Politics Uncensored, your unapologetic spotlight on Nigeria's political realities. On today's episode of Politics Uncensored, Nigeria's political tables are shaking. Atiku is out of PDP. Buhari's CPC bloc is threatening to bolt from the APC. Is this a reset or just a remix? We got to find out today. Well, our goal will always be to provide a platform for open and honest discussions where experts and everyday citizens can share their perspectives and insights. It's going to be, and still is, your favorite show, and we have an expert guest who will be joining us soon. Of course, I am your host, Okikiola Taiwo Jalipo. You can call me the polyhumanitarian, and I'm here to make political discussions accessible to everyone. We want to hear from you because all of our episodes are all about you, so be a part of the conversation every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. To add your voice to these discussions, you can also add on to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. Hit that subscribe button, like, share the link, and invite your friends to join the show right now. Our phone lines are also open to you. Feel free to call us on 070-2500-7749 and 070-142420. Let's hear what you have to say. We'll go on a break right now, and then we'll return with our guests and take our top stories in the political space making headlines. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are still watching Politics Uncensored, and today we are here to discuss Nigeria's political landscape shifts. We are asking what's next for 2027. Just recently, we had the local government elections, and we saw what some called daylight robbery and others called a landslide victory. But Nigeria's political chessboard is undergoing seismic shifts. With the sudden passing of the former president Muhammadu Buhari, fault lines within the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, are becoming increasingly visible. Tensions within the party, particularly among the Buhari-loyal CPC bloc, have sparked speculations of a mass defection. And we're looking at over 12 million loyalists. Simultaneously, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, is reeling from the dramatic exit of the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who announced his defection to a newly formed ADC-led coalition. This isn't just another political move. This is a reshuffling of power across ideological lines, regional loyalties, and personal ambitions. But what does this mean for 2027? Are we witnessing the birth of a genuine third force, or just another elite power struggle repackaged for public consumption? Today on Politics Uncensored, we ask, who is truly benefiting from this realignment? What is the fate of the PDP in this new landscape? And can Nigeria finally break the two-party ceiling? Of course, these are part of the questions that we would be asking our guests. And joining us is Dr. Adeko Tokunbo Pierce, who is a political analyst, thought leader, and the convener of Reset Lagos PDP. It will help us to unpack the cracks and the coalitions, and of course the consequences for 2027 and beyond. Welcome, Dr. Adeko Tokunbo.
Good afternoon.
Wonderful to have you here, sir.
I'm glad to be here. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Before we go into our topic for today, Doctor, let's quickly look at a political news making headline today. And we have one, of course, from the PDP saying Atiku's exit won't kill PDP, says the party chieftain. Lagos State People's Democratic Party chieftain Prince Laja Adoye says the party cannot die with the exit of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Rather, it will be stronger ahead of 2027 general elections. Adeoye, House of Representatives, hopeful in Oshodi Solo Federal Constituency, said this in an interview with the news agency of Nigeria on Friday in Lagos. NAN reports that Abubakar, the PDP presidential candidate in 2019 and 2023, announced his resignation from the party on Wednesday, citing what he called intractable issues within the erstwhile ruling party. Though the former vice president has not formally announced his defection to African Democratic Congress, the coalition of opposition leaders led by him, he had recently announced the adoption of the party as his platform for the 2027 general elections. And reacting is Adoye, saying that Abubakar exit would bring peace and tranquility to the party. According to him, the untamed presidential ambition of the former vice president had unsettled the party. PDP cannot die because one man left the party. As you know, this is not the first time Atiku is exiting the PDP. The party stands regardless, and this is Adeoye speaking. He also said that PDP is rebuilding and will be stronger ahead of the 2027 election. One thing that is certain is that a lot of people who have joined the ADC will return to the PDP sooner or later as PDP gets more formidable. Many of them, including Atiku, will see that there is no road in the so-called ADC they are running to, Adeoye said. And he finally said, the chieftain, he noted that he was not against the coalition of the political parties, but he can only work when PDP, he claimed, as the largest party in Africa, leads it. Anything short of that is a waste of time. And he said prominent names such as Peter Obi, Rauf Aregbesola, Nasir El-Rufai, and Rotimi Amechi, amongst others, are in the coalition already. As someone who is the convener of Reset PDP, do you have something to say otherwise what Adeoye have said here? Or do you think that this coalition is something that you are starting to, or the PDP is starting to worry about?
Well, the PDP certainly will worry about the coalition, but not unduly. The coalition itself, if you take a good look at it, is already laden with all sorts of problems. So many challenges. It's very top-heavy, but we don't see anybody at the grassroots supporting it. I, in fact, predict that it may not be on the ballot in 2027 because there are so many court challenges. The immediate past presidential candidate of the party is claiming that the Atiku and the other people who have joined the party are actually not members of the party because they have not come into the party in a legitimate way, in a democratic way. So, but let's put that aside a little bit and look at the way PDP is going. The PDP had many problems after the 2023 election. But remember that in 2015, Atiku left the party and he took with him top names from the north. Virtually all our leaders from the north went with him, from Seraki to Ganduje to El-Rufai. All of them went to APC. And they helped to build APC to what it is now. So at that point in time, PDP did not crumble because Atiku came back, got the ticket, and I worked with him closely to get the ticket because I introduced him to various delegates from across the Southwest in particular, and they gave him the ticket. And he did quite well, came a very close second in 2019. So PDP will remain because PDP is very well rooted. It has structures in every nook and corner of Nigeria, every ward, every neighborhood. We have our representatives and our members. So the PDP is getting stronger, as I think it's Mr. Adeoye said, because in, I think it was May 27 of this year, when we had our NEC meeting, which our distractors, particularly Mr. Wike, tried to prevent us from having that NEC meeting. But NEC meeting held without rancor, peacefully and progressively. Then, I think a month later, we were going to have the 100th anniversary of our NEC meeting, and they tried again to prevent it. And we had it, and it was a successful one. July 23rd now, that's the 23rd of this month, we are going to have another NEC meeting, at which time we will confirm our September-October date for our national convention, where we will elect a substantive national chairman. So we are following our program, our routine, our democratic processes. If we have that convention in September, October, and we elect a national chairman, a substantive national chairman, to take over from Damagun, who is an acting chairman, then we are ready to go to a national convention to elect a presidential candidate. So there is nothing wrong with PDP. The reason why Mr. Atiku left the party seems to me, and many observers have made the same point, that he feels that 2027 will not give him any opportunity to get the presidential ticket in PDP, particularly because of the opposition that he got from within the party in 2023. Also, because of the political climate whereby everybody is saying that the next presidential candidate from the PDP should be from the South. So therefore, he feels that there is no point in staying with PDP because he cannot get a ticket. And so that's why he left. So if that is why he left, good luck to him in the ADC. As I said, the ADC is not really, it's more of a threat to itself. It's a danger to itself than to PDP. There are only two political parties in Nigeria right now. In fact, I would say two and a half. The PDP, the APC, and Labour. And Labour is limping because the factions there are too many at the national level. So we have differences in our party at the national level, but those are internal differences. Those are family issues that we have resolved and continue to resolve. By 2027, PDP will be the strongest party in Nigeria, which will offer the population an opportunity to choose between 8 years of Buhari and 4 years of Tinubu that have been disastrous for the economy, for security, and for ethnic unity in this country. So therefore, as Governor Makinde said at one point, that 2027 will be an election between the people of Nigeria and the APC. And the people of Nigeria will be represented by the PDP. You know, the situation is clear. We have a very failed administration for the last 8 years and last 4 years, 3 years now. So therefore, Nigerians will have an opportunity to choose between the two. It's unfortunate that Labour is going the way it's going. Imagine Obi saying he wants to go to ADC, then he runs away back to Labour Party. In the meantime, he has not done anything to unify Labour Party. So as it is now, I see 2027 between a choice between the PDP and the APC that has totally disconnected Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Dr. Adetokunbo. These are bold claims that you have made here. And saying that the ADC might not make it to the ballot in 2027 would sort of ruin the hope of many who have left their parties to form this, to join this coalition. And of course, Labour Party will be very hard to hear you call them half-baked in that sense. But I understand what you're saying. And it's quite sad to see that over the years, as these political tactics are, coming to light and becoming more visible, we're starting to see cracks here and there. And I like that you also highlighted that PDP also have internal crises that they are trying to sort. And you mentioned how they are doing so democratically. And I hope that is what is happening. Adiri has said that PDP would not die because one person has left. And I also believe that one person should not completely...
It did not die. It did not. PDP didn't die in 2015 when so many more people, including Atiku.
Yes.
Many people, almost all our governors in the north left. And the PDP didn't die.
And there has been a lot of defections from the PDP to the APC over the last few months. So I'm hoping that as a month...
No. Yeah, yes. Yeah, but you see, look, I am glad to talk to you, your station in particular. Young people should realize that what is going on, what is destabilizing the body politic in Nigeria is a bunch of old men, particularly very few women involved, that have been in the system for 20, 30 years and refuse to go. And when they were in government, they achieved nothing. In 2027, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, is going to present a presidential candidate that will be the youngest of all of them. He'll be under 60 years old, and he'll be ready to take us to another level. His performance, where he's coming from, his philosophy of restructuring Nigeria, his commitment to security and unity in Nigeria will help Nigerians to realize that we have a future. Look at the people going to ADC.
I wouldn't want you to...
going to ADC.
Yes, I wouldn't want you to completely...
All of them are old men that have been in office for so many years and failed. What is it to me that Michi wants to be president? Atiku wants to be president. What is Arufai doing again?
I understand what you're saying, but I wouldn't want you to completely blow the on for the PDP at this point, because we're going to be talking quite widely into the conversation. It's very important that we are able to touch as much. So let me just say that right now we'll just wrap this conversation up, quickly go on a short break, and then come back with a hot topic for today so that I can hear more of your insights. So to our viewers, please do not go anywhere. We'll be right back shortly. Thank you for staying tuned. If you just tuned in, you are still watching Politics Uncensored, and we are here discussing Nigeria's political landscape shifts. We're asking what's next for 2027. And of course, we still have Dr. Adeto Kumbo here, who is the convener of Reset Lagos PDP. So let's begin with your reaction. What do you think Atiku's defection? I know that you already mentioned what it meant for PDP and how the PDP is working towards doing things democratically. But let's open it up now into what's happening in the CPC. The CPC's tension signals, what does that signal to you about Nigeria's political health, especially when we have, as claimed, 12 million votes just lying around waiting for who or what politician can tap into it?
Very interesting period in Nigerian politics. Bola Ahmed Tinubu's presidency, which followed that of Buhari, has opened up the eyes of Nigerians to see what it means to vote for the wrong people, for bad people who have a very bad record. If the APC crumbles, it will crumble because it was a marriage of convenience out of determination to get rid of Goodluck Jonathan, not because they had any good plan for Nigeria, not because they had noble principles. Look at where we are. The president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is alleged, I'm not saying he's a drug baron, he's alleged to be a drug baron. He forfeited $400 and something thousand to the American government. That tells you he had a problem with the government. The Senate President, Akpabio, was governor of Akwa Ibom, alleged to have embezzled 800 billion or 80 billion naira of the people's money. His case is still in the EFCC. The Vice President Chetima, when he was governor of Borno, he ignored the advice to keep the Chibok girls safe without going through any exam. He exposed them, and Boko Haram came. Muhammad Buhari, said when he was campaigning for president that war against Boko Haram is war against the North. It's on record. When the Boko Haram wanted a person to stand for them in negotiations with the federal government under Goodluck Jonathan, they nominated a man who became our president, Muhammad Buhari. Look, let me tell you, I will say it as it is, and it's because of young people who are coming up now. When you are going to vote, look for character. Look for a person with integrity, apart from capability. You know, without integrity, everything else goes. You could have energy, you could have intelligence, but if you don't have integrity, you don't have anything. You cannot lead this nation anywhere. So look, we don't have a problem in Nigeria. I like what is going on, because if people like Tinubu had not come into power, people will not appreciate that they should look for good character in their president. Because the president of Nigeria is a very powerful individual. He can influence National Assembly in any way. And that's what we are getting now. CPC came into an alliance with ACN, and that was how they were able to form APC and form a government that won the election in 2015. Now, the CPC, many of them are not happy with the way Tinubu has treated them. including now the Vice President Shetima, because Shetima's comment a few days ago, maybe about a week now, that the president has no power to sack any governor, tells you that he's talking indirectly to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that he has no power to sack the governor of Rivers State. When you see cracks like that, when you see El Rufai going on the warpath, when you see several people from the north going to attack APC, then you know there's a problem.
Dr.
So,
Adetokunbo, I'm sorry to cut your
it is not my wish.
Point.
It is not my prayer, but this is what I observe.
Dr. Adetokunbo, I've been hearing you from the beginning of the show, and it's been outright support for the PDP. But honestly, we all saw the PDP ruling for 16 years.
Yes.
I personally did not see what was done with that opportunity. We saw how things went from bad to worse over, and that was how I believe that the APC had to came up to emerge as the winner of the 2015 election. So could you tell me something else other than the fact that PDP, you are painting the PDP as a saint at this point? Can we hear something else, something new that Nigerians have probably not heard before?
First and foremost, in any country, in any political climate, and believe me, I lived and worked in the United States for over 20 years. I did a lot of work in politics. I know human beings. And I was a teacher in the university system throughout that period. And I'm telling you, there is no perfect, nothing near perfect in any political organization. You have to choose between the bad lots. You choose the best of the worst lot. You understand me? So what we have in Nigeria today, our choice as Nigerians is between the PDP and the APC. So
are we not tired, Dr. Adetokunbo, are we not tired of the same old? Because this whole idea of choosing the lesser evil, I think that Nigerians are completely exhausted from hearing that. I remember very well that in 2019, it was the African Action. Well, in 2019, it was the African Action Congress that was somewhat under Showere's party, was somewhat the angel in that sense, the saint in that sense. And looking into 2023, the Labour Party came to light and also, or would I say, presented itself as the saint again. So we are seeing coalition of the ADC coming up, but these new parties, these saint parties, are coming together as against the two-party system that have ruled Nigeria over and over again. So what exactly is going to happen in 2027 other than painting PDP that a lot of Nigerians have experienced as the saint all over again?
You did not experience the PDP of today. These are new people in PDP.
I'm still seeing old faces, sir. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm still seeing old faces.
Well, look, in the PDP, you cannot have what is new in Obi's Labour Party. Is Obi a new face? Please don't kill yourself. This is the issue. You are going to compare even the past of APC, the past of PDP is compared to the past of APC is a noble past. When PDP was in government, begin with Obasanjo. Obasanjo's regime introduced the whole system of improvement in telecommunications, the cell phone revolution under him. Under him, he paid our debts of the nation. Under him, the economy was thriving compared to now. He had a lot of challenges, but he achieved a lot compared to what happened under Buhari in 8 years. Then when Yaradua came, Yar'Adua tackled the issue of the Niger Delta problems. And that was a man under whom we started this issue of being fair to everybody. Even in Lagos State, that was not a PDP state. He came here, and the money that they have seized for many years, he released it. I was a noble man. Unfortunately, may his soul rest in peace. He died unfortunately early. Then came Jonathan. Under Jonathan, the Nigerian GDP became the highest in Africa, higher than that of South Africa for the first time in history. Under Jonathan, they began the renewal of the Southeast after the Civil War, where the Southeast had been abandoned. Under Jonathan, you had no political prisoner. Look, all I'm saying is compare and contrast. Nigerians don't have a choice between choosing between paradise and heaven. You have a choice of what we have, a PDP and APC. That is what it is. If Labour Party is able to get itself together, good. If ADC is able to present something good, let Nigerians choose. I am speaking in my position as an analyst, and I happen to be supportive of the principles of the PDP. PDP introduced the notion of restructuring Nigeria. That is what Jonathan also did. The 2014 confab, if we take some of the recommendations of that confab, Nigeria will become a better place economically, it will be a safer place, and we'll have better unity. So all of these are the things that the PDP has done. If you look at the record of Buhari and record of Tinubu now, it's sham in comparison. So all we say is, let Nigerians compare and contrast, and then choose.
I like that you are giving Nigerians an avenue to actually choose at this point. And I don't want to come off to you like somebody who is out to, tackle the PDP in any sense. But I am asking, as any Nigerian would, and some of the things that we have heard on the street. So it's asking the hard questions regardless of what I must feel, personally about any political party. But you're talking about some of the good things that the past presidential and elected members of Nigeria have done under the PDP. You have said some good things. I'm sure that Nigerians also know about some of the good and some of the bad, which even the new administration at this point will start to paint certain pictures from us, from the current administration saying that for the first time they cleared the debt from the IMF and all of that. But looking forward, how do you think that parties can now start to rebuild trust with the electorate, not beyond just picking what side to be on? How do you think that parties can now start to rebuild trust with the electorate?
Look. In every election, the parties give you two things. First, the personality that is promoting the party, the head of their ticket, and the policies they want to pursue. I am telling you now that the policies of the PDP, which is to restructure Nigeria, whereby we take some of the recommendations of the 2014 confab, such as a one-term, 6-year rotational presidency. I put it to you that if we don't have rotational presidency in this country, it is very unlikely that anybody from Igbo land, from the Southeast, can ever become president. You know why? When you go to a convention, how many delegates do you have from the Southeast? How many do you have from the Northwest? And so on. The reason being that the way Nigeria is now, the number of local government areas, the number of House of Rep members, the number of senators, all of these things determine how the delegate count will be. So therefore, it will be unfair if we do not do rotational presidency. And that is what the PDP is preaching in their pursuit of the 2014 confab recommendations. Number two,
okay,
in the presidential, in the restructuring agenda, you have this issue of the electoral reform, whereby the PDP says if you do not have a different system whereby the president of the country does not appoint the national chairman of INEC and the commissioners of INEC, then there's no credible election in the country. So these are key changes that must happen. We also have in the restructuring formula the idea of devolution of powers. As it is now, we don't have a police structure in the state. What we have is the federal government police, which does not take care of the interests of the states of the people. Do you know that the governor of any state is not the chief executive officer of his state in terms of security? So these are the things that must change, and it is PDP that is proposing these changes. So if you want progress in this country, choose the party that has the policy. When they were campaigning, APC said they were going to do restructuring. Guess what? Their main person, the leader of the party, Buhari, had an interview in Punch on that period and said he was not interested in the convention report. He didn't want to see it. He should throw it in the garbage. Now, if you don't want to restructure Nigeria, if you want to keep things the way they are, which Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done now, because you know he said he will continue with the policies of Buhari, and he has done so. Look at where we are. Look at where we are. Look at the strength of our economy. Look at the strength of the economy. We are so bad now that the Times of London said recently that the way we are going with our security, we are edging toward a failed state status. We never had that during the days of the PDP administration. We never had the kind of
we would be rounding up.
Ethnocentricity we had under Buhari and now under Tinubu. So look. It's a choice between two evils. That is life. It's not just Nigeria. Anywhere in the world, you're going to choose between two evils. That's life. Even on your personal level. You are going to get married.
Dr. Adetokunbo, I probably
two
would not.
boyfriends. You choose one.
I probably would not
neither of them is perfect.
Dr. Adetokunbo, can you hear me? I probably will not sit on the chair of choosing between two evil at this point. I strongly advocate for a better Nigeria. So it's either we are having the good or we are having the good. But yes,
the choice you make
as we
between two evils is the better choice. That's all. That's life, my dear.
So as we're wrapping up, I don't want us to lose the context of also addressing the youth. If you were to advise the youth, in a few seconds, what role do you think that they should play in shaping 2027?
When I was a member of the SDP at some point. I ended up as the governorship candidate of the party in 2019. And I did everything I could to get young people to come into the party and take positions within the party, to run for House of Reps, to run for Senate, and so on. Many of them opted to go to bigger parties like the PDP or the APC because we didn't have any money. So young people should face the facts about their own lives. This future is about them. I am a teacher by profession. I lectured in the universities in America for 20 years and 15 years at the University of Lagos. And so, as far as I'm concerned, I am very, very concerned and very close to young people, because not only is that the future, it is the present. More young people vote in our election than older people. That is to say, people under 45. So it is left to them to choose rightly. They can determine the future. They can determine who wins and who doesn't win. You notice that what they did in 2023, they supported Labour Party and Obi very fiercely. And that is why Obi did well for a while, until the manipulations and permutations got him out of the case. And because Obi's policy and philosophy and his personality was not what these young people thought it was. I tell young people, look closely, read the situation properly. Don't kid yourself about anything. Don't let somebody come and tell you stories. Look at what they have done in the past. Look at their personality. Look at their record. And then decide. Young people are more in number than older people who are, let us say, 60 and above. I mean, of them. Is it not young people that snatch ballot boxes? Is it not young? So young people have to caution themselves and decide on doing the right thing.
I'm sure our viewers must.
For instance, in PDP Lagos, any young person is preferred over. Look, what are you saying? How many people are older in the House of Reps? How many old people are there? It's young people that are there. Many of them are under 45. In this coming election, however, I urge young people to look at the age of the presidential candidates. Look at their record, look at their personality, their character, look at what they've done, wherever they were coming from in terms of politics as well as outside of politics.
Understood.
Are you coming into government with money you stole from government? Are you coming into government from money you made as an individual working in your private company? Honestly, you know, young people, look.
Thank you, sir. I'm sure that a lot of them would hear some of these that you have said. But yes. I need to quickly put you on the spot. Would you support a Peter Obi-Atiku merger, a yes or a no?
Why what is that supposed to be? Is that a youth movement or what?
No, I would want to know if it's something that you would support. So it's a yes or a no answer.
They are not members of my party. They don't have policies that I believe in. They don't have character that I trust. I cannot support either of them, whether one is president, one is vice president, it doesn't matter. Both of them are totally objectionable. And I will tell Nigerians that any day, check their record.
Thank you, sir.
Check their history.
Thank you, sir.
That's all.
Thank you. So the Reset Lagos PDP that you are the convener, do you think that this is a strong movement that you have started, or this is for political rehab?
You see, all I try to do is to bring people together in unity and to confront the issue of research, character, integrity. Look at what is going on. Don't kid yourself. I have been fighting people in our party. That's why I set up the reset, because I thought we need a reset. You know, I tell them the truth.
So I believe that that answers that already, young, that this is a reset.
They are young criminals and they are all criminals.
Yes.
I like to face reality. So we keep on fighting for justice and progress and peace. By the way, I get communication from Showore every day now, because he knows that I stand for just the truth. It's just unfortunate that people like Showore are in a political party that cannot win election.
Thank you very much for joining the show,
system works.
Dr. Adetokunbo.
But in terms of philosophy, that is where to go.
Unfortunately, we have to go right now. Our time is fast spent, but I'm so grateful that you came on the show, of course, to have this conversation with us and also open, the front lines for for Nigerians to choose and start to see things from a different light. And I believe at this point, from the ashes of legacy politics, a new order might emerge, or perhaps it's all smoke and mirrors for Nigerians. And Nigeria's political elite are playing the musical chairs once again. But my question is, will the people keep dancing to the same tired tune, or will 2027 become a year of reckoning? Before I go, do ensure that you follow us on all our social media platforms. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. This has been Politics Uncensored, the real talk, the real issues. See you again next week, same time. Bye-bye.